Apple introduced their new lineup of iPhone 17 devices and some other improvements to the Apple Watch and also AirPods yesterday. As I've had a little bit of time to think about it, I think it's interesting to look at what these improvements were. These are a lot of engineering improvements, but not really, again, any real game changers from a product standpoint. So where's the product velocity for Apple? And the truth is they're losing a lot of momentum in almost every business except for the iPhone. The iPhone's holding up pretty well right now. But when you look at the numbers, they have declining sales in Macs, declining sales in iPads, and also declining sales in other devices like the Apple Watch and AirPods. So from an investment perspective, was this good news yesterday or bad news? That's what I'm going to dig into. My name is Travis Hoium. Thanks for watching Asymmetric Investing. Please subscribe here on YouTube for all my content. And thanks to this video sponsor, The Motley Fool. If you go to fool.com/ASYM, they'll give you their top 10 stocks to buy right now. First of all, let's look at what Apple actually announced yesterday. I'm just going to run through these really quickly. This is the AirPods 3. The biggest thing that they announced with this product, we scroll down a little bit, is translation. So this is basically live translation. You can have somebody speak a different language to you. You can hear in your native language in your ears. And then they have a way to translate what you're saying to text on your iPhone. So a really interesting feature they can add there, something that Android devices have had for a while now. So it's not like Apple's really the only one doing this, but a nice addition for something like the AirPod Pro. They also updated the 3 watches, so the Apple Watch SE, the Apple Watch Ultra 3, and Apple Watch 11. So used a lot of terminology like groundbreaking health insights. These are upgrades, and there are some interesting new sensors and ways they're looking at things like hypertension. But again, do these 3 products and the AirPods really move the needle for Apple? I don't think there's a whole lot that these products can do that other products couldn't, that customers are going to run out and spend between $200 and $700 on these products. But then you have the iPhone. Again, you run into something similar. The iPhone 17, new chip, all of that kind of stuff. The performance is a little bit better. They keep talking about improving their AI features. We're still kind of figuring out what Apple Intelligence is going to be. I'm not real bullish on that right now. But those are nice improvements, and this product starts at $800. And then you have this new iPhone Air. The interesting thing here, it's very, very thin, but you still have this massive notch for the camera. So is this going to be a big selling point, just one camera on this? You're giving up some features like battery life with the thinness of this device. So again, great engineering, but is it a product that's going to sell all that well? The one that is maybe a little bit more compelling kind of naturally in the iPhone lineup is going to be the 17 Pro and Pro Max. This is going to be for kind of more power users, people who want the more advanced cameras, 3 cameras, up to 8x optical zoom. So that's a nice feature. Thanks to our friends at The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/ASYM for the top 10 stocks to buy right now. And here's the fundamental challenge for Apple. Their product sales have been in decline, especially when you look beyond the iPhone. I'll show these numbers in a couple different ways. These are the main 4 segments. This pulls out the services business. So services is going to be their more digital business. That is growing consistently, but that's kind of squeezing money out of customers who are already in the Apple ecosystem. This is going to be a bigger indication of how fast is the Apple ecosystem growing, and it's not really growing all that much at all. You can see that the iPhone is holding up pretty well, actually $206.8 billion in revenue over the past 12 months. That's a record level for the iPhone. But let's pull out the iPhone from these numbers, and you can see this is where the real challenge is. In green at the bottom is going to be the segment that holds AirPods and the Apple Watch, wearables, home, and accessories. That peaked in the September 2022 trailing 12 months at $41.2 billion in revenue. Over the past year, down 13% to just $35.7 billion in revenue. So that's a big decline. Are these the kind of products that are going to turn around that business? That's where I don't think it is, and that's the challenge for Apple because shares are currently trading for 36 times earnings. Apple is essentially not just a no-growth company, it's a shrinking company when you look at their hardware business. The only bright side for Apple is that services business, and that could be under threat as things like artificial intelligence and their Google deal, which is paying them about $20 billion a year, as that potentially becomes less lucrative if people are using things like Google search on Safari a little bit less. So all things for investors to think about. I think Apple continues to be an extremely expensive stock because we're not seeing the kind of innovation that we saw for decades from Apple. This is not the Apple of 2005, of 2010, where they're introducing new products where these keynotes are must-see television. They're not really all that exciting at all. I watched the entire thing yesterday, didn't come away really compelled to buy any new Apple products, despite the fact that I'm in the Apple ecosystem. So something to think about for investors, but let me know what you thought about all the announcements from Apple yesterday. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to Asymmetric Investing. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you here next time.